Hi everyone, today we'll be exploring GitHub. Yeah, I said we. On my last video I did introduction on GitHub, Bitbucket and GitLab, and I told you guys, I promised you guys that we'll be exploring them deeper. So normally you expect me to like explore all the three, but I think exploring GitHub with you, they are all the same concept. Like I said on my last video, once you are able to understand how GitHub works, explore it, is the same concept, the same terms they use, and I think you'll be okay. So please stay tuned. Let me log in to my account. This is a new account I created. So let me log in. I have my login details saved. So let me just choose this one and sign in. Yeah, verification code. So let me check my email. Okay, I'm checking the email on my phone, so I will put in the verification code. So this kind of feature is good because you don't want to lose your years of code space. So this is a new GitHub account. So what we'll be doing first, you see, it's totally empty. This is your user profile there. You want to do your settings and any other things. But let's go straight to what we want to discuss. I'll create a repository. If you have other repository you want to import, you just use this link. But don't rush things. We'll use the create repository. So this is how it is. This is my username here and this is the repository name. So one thing is, since this account is empty, there's no any pending repository, I could just create any one. So I'm choosing test and you see it is available. Hadn't been I have another repository earlier on with the same name test, then it will tell me it is not available. So the names of your repository needs to be unique. So if I have description, let me just say trying out GitHub for beginner. Yes, earlier on my last video I discussed public and private. If we leave this public, other users can see it, see what you are doing, see your code space, your project and every other stuff. But if I choose private, that means I want to take it out of the public eye, but you can still share it with a specific limited number of people. Let me say I have a friend, we are working on the same project. If you want to connect him to your private repository, all you do is just his username and you are good to go. So I will put it on private first so that we'll check the both features. One thing is you can always switch from private to public. So I'll put it on private, then I'll switch it to public so that you should know how to do that. So now let's add a readme file. And what is a readme file? A readme file is just, it will show on the intro, once opening the repository, every users will see just a brief introduction or description or summary and resources you've used on this project. So, and it's kind of good. So this Git Ignore is just putting it, okay, there are specific types of files you don't want to be uploaded to your repository, and this is kind of good. Maybe you don't want a PDF file .pdf, you just put the Git Ignore. By default it has lots of files by default. So let me add it so that you see how the file look like. And if you can choose template. There are a lot of templates, depending on the type. If it is mobile app, if it is C++, they have template of the kind of files that you don't need to upload. And those files they ignore will not affect your project, trust me. Then I will add if you want to add a license, maybe there are different default license that you could add to your repository so that anyone working with it will know how serious this project is. So let me create the repository. Don't forget the name I choose is private. Okay. Okay. I see the buttons kind of grayed out. Let me add a Git Ignore. Let me choose which one am I choosing? Oh, let me just say let me say web. Oh, sorry, Android. Let me ignore it for now. Or action script, or it's a JavaScript, Java. Let me ignore it for now. One thing about this Git Ignore is you can always add it back, but maybe let's create it and we'll add it later on. That's why my create repository button was grayed out earlier on. So we are creating the repository. Don't forget I add a readme file, and once the repository is being created, the readme file is the first thing we'll have inside my repository. Oh, the network is kind of bad, so let me just refresh. It will ask me to continue. It's still the same thing. Yeah, I have the repository created, and this is the readme file I added earlier on. This is the test. It will by default it will always take the name of your repository, and this is the description I added. You can always edit. We'll edit this readme later on, so keep it logging. Please subscribe, like, and share this video with your friends. Thank you. So we'll first explore these things. The first thing I'm going to do is, here you see now, and this is the ID of the commit. This ID shows that this stage of this repository at this, if I have like 20 files, this ID is keeping track of at this ID, these are the files available, and I will show you later on how you can navigate around these IDs. So it changed to 1 minute ago, so the time keeps on like updating. So one thing I want to do is, here either you want to upload or create a new file, you do it directly. So here there is GitHub desktop and there is the CLI. If you install the GitHub desktop, you don't need to come to the browser. You keep using the app from your system, and a lot of people are using, millions of people are using it. So you just open the app directly and you are live on your GitHub. And here, if you have files, like you just want to like download the whole repository as a zip file, you are good to go. And here, if you have, maybe for developers, if you want to like clone this repository, you just copy the URL, put it like earlier on when I wanted to create the repository. There's two options: create repository or import repository. So if you're importing, you can automatically put this URL, and it will upload the repository back to this account. So now what I want to do is, let me upload a file first. I want to make this as simple as easy for everyone. You are a programmer, not a programmer. I told you earlier on my last video that this have a lot of features that you need to explore. So I will choose, you can do drag and drop, and you drag the file. So here, this is a txt file. I'll show you the content. It's still uploading. finally uploaded. So let me show you the content of this TXT file. This is my first line here, second line here. That's the content of this first.txt file. So let me say add first.txt file, or you say initial commit. Well, these commits, give them names that match with the stage of the file, so that whenever you are retrieving your file at so stage, you know what you did. So I don't want to add a description. So now you can create a branch. And what is a branch? A branch is here, the main branch. That's the main branch. That's where the whole repository is. So if you are creating a branch, that means you want to create like a subfolder. So you are putting, I have like some text document I'm still working on. So I upload them to a new branch. So that branch now is like, okay, when I'm done with this file, they are no longer a text file. I've finished the work, or yeah, I think I'll be using these files. Then you now merge them to the main branch. Understand? So if I click on create branch now, it will ask me the name. See, I can use any name, code space patch 1, or I can say my temporary branch, and so on. But I want to upload it to the main branch. So I do commit. You see, I've created my repository, and you see, add first.txt file. This is my initial readme commit. Then check here. Now we have main. So if I created another branch, we'll have them here. So I'm still on my main branch, and here you are seeing 2 commits. We'll get back to that later on. So now I will set my, let me say third line here. I will save, and I will upload the same file. So let me say upload files. I'll still choose the same first.txt file. So one thing this does here is, if you are uploading, if let's say like developer, from your IDE you are uploading directly to your repository, I didn't mean there is conflict, it will show you to like check and match. So I did not add a commit message, you see. So this is the default message: add files via upload. You see, I did not add commit file. And if I check this guy now, these are the 3 lines I have. Let me go back. So now what I want to do is, I'll create a new txt file. Let me say new file here. Let me save to desktop. Let me say second. Let me save it. So let me upload the file I just created now. Whereas there are still a lot of tabs here we've not explored, but I want us to be true with this upload of a thing. So let me upload the second file. So let me add second file. Let me commit. I have 2 files now. So let me show you what I was trying to explain, that this ID, let's take note of it now. So let me go back. I have 4. Remember, I've did commit 4 times now. This is the first one, I upload this one and I make changes on it, then this is the fourth one. So let me go back. This is like history, my upload history, and see the commit message. This commit message let me understand what I did, the type of commit I did at a particular time. So that's why I said you need to write something that could explain or let you remember what you did when you are uploading. So here now, let me go back to this add first txt file. So if I click here, that means I'm going back. I want to have my repository at this particular stage in history. So here now you see I don't have the second txt file again, and you see the commit message is no longer add files via upload. So let me open this. You see, normally this the first file I have 3 lines. There's a third line here message, but it's no longer here. So what this means is that you could always reverse back to history whenever you like. And if you reverse back, let me say I want to reverse back to add files via upload. This is the message. Let me go back and let me reverse. You see, observe the ID. The IDs are different. So let me reverse back. So if you want to download your content, your project at this stage, you could just click and have your files downloaded at this particular time in history. So that's why I said you just need to explore GitHub. You need to take advantage of the kind of massive resources you have here. And don't forget, this is a private repository. If you search it, you don't have access to the content here. So it's just private, and you can see here the description here. So now let me go to issues. Here issue is like maybe two people are working on this. You have like 3 friends working on the project. Creating an issue is that maybe, it's like just a chat. I have problem here. Then the other collaborators you have on this project will see your issue, try to respond and help you out. So let me create a new issue. Let me say unable to let me see, unable to add reference. Let me say I am having issue adding reference to, let me say, ted.txt file. Okay, let me submit. You can see there are a lot of resources here. You want to put a link, you want to mention someone, you want to put, you want to anything. It are like a lot of resources, and you want to put a list of items, maybe what you've done. No, let me preview it before you see. This is how it looks. So let me submit. You see, this is the issue I've created, and everybody working on this project with me will see this thing, and it will notify them that so user created an issue. So now let me just add a comment, replying to this issue. Let's assume I'm another user. So let me say, let's say try and format it properly. Okay, you can, maybe you want to give him a link to a particular tutorial or Stack Overflow to help him solve this problem. So let me commit. You see, I've replied. So if I want to reply to this particular code here, I'll just do like this. I say thanks for the help. Okay, commit. You see, I've quote this particular comment and replied. So let me say issues resolved. Thanks. So I want to I've resolved this issue. You just close and commit. You see, it is only you who created this issue can reopen it. So here it shows that close this thread. That means the issue has been resolved. This is massive, honestly. I see one participant. I didn't been there a lot of. I've had collaborators. You'll be able to see it here. So the next thing is there's pull requests. Maybe there's two collaborators working. Somebody submitted something and then you check it, then you merge and every other thing to the main branch. There's actions. So this action, yeah, this is massive, honestly. This particular repository, you can deploy it with Node.js, Azure Web App, deploy with Amazon ECI, we deploy with Google Cloud, Terraform, Alibaba, IBM, Tencent, OpenShift. Then it is integration, CI/CD. You see package, Python package, Anaconda, Webpack, publish. You see automation. So this is honestly bringing everything to you at a spot. So you don't need to be going up and down. You have access to this on a platter of gold. So see project here. Project is just like a spreadsheet. You will see the description. It's just like a spreadsheet. You could create a task, assign it to a particular collaborator on this project, and you keep changing the status if it has been finished and everything. So here we have security. Yeah. So if you want to depend bots that once there's any vulnerability or you mistakenly upload a file with your password and every other thing, it will send you notification that hey, you've uploaded a particular file that contains your security details. So insight, I'm not seeing any insight because I need to allow. You see, depender bot and every other thing. And why I'm not seeing anything is there need to be this type of files. That's what it needs to show me everything about dependency graph. So let me go to settings. So earlier on, this repository is a private repo. So here we'll try, please don't forget to subscribe, like, click the bell notification and share with your friends. Thank you. So here, these are all the features here. Wiki, there's nothing Wiki is just like writing articles and everything about this repository, or documentation and every other things. Why is it telling me there's no wiki? Is because I need to make this repository public. That's when I'll have access to wiki. Issues, yeah, we've worked on that. Projects, so you have a lot of features. You can customize and set it the way you like. So this GitHub pages is if you maybe let's say someone who just trying out a HTML, JavaScript and CSS created once this thing, you could just use GitHub pages and put it live. And this most critical aspect, you need to pay attention. You don't want to lose your work in a latter of a seconds. So I don't know what that one means. I don't even know what it means. So now, but I know you don't want to lose everything you've been working for the past days, weeks, and months within 1 second. I think so. Here you can delete this repository. You can transfer it to another account. Change visibility. This is where you change from public to private. So let me change. You see, let me make it public, and they say I should type this particular thing. Let me just copy. Then you want to confirm that yeah, it is you, and then you change the visibility. Oh, so here you see the wiki that was restricted earlier on, I have access to it now, and many other features. So this is the danger zone. If you change the visibility, transfer the repository, achieve the repository, or delete the repository. So here, these are the settings. Maybe this repository you want to be getting notification whenever, if like a collaborator, somebody posts or send message, different kind of notification, you could set it up here. This fork is just like you copying somebody's repository because it is public, and because I'm the author of this repository, that's why the fork button is grayed out. So this star is just like you like the repository, and it's like just rating, just you like the repository, and every other user could see the repository like, and any other thing. You see, change to public. So now what I want to do now here is, let me try and add collaborator. So collaborator, you just search by their new username. Let me just say, let me see code. You see, all the username with that name will come up. So let me search, let me say Angel. Yeah, Angel. So if it is available, you see, just invite them, they will see the notification and they will accept. They will have access to this repository, and it is already public, but it's just collaborated that okay, these are the teams working on this project. So let me click on Angel. I don't know the user, I just want to try something out, and I will delete the invitation very, very soon. So let me show you what I want this settings, manage access. You see, there's one. Once this user accepts the invitation, it will be added as collaborator. So let me delete because I don't know the user. Okay, it's good now. So now basically we've discussed majority of things here. So if you want to edit this readme, yeah, say let's say please subscribe to this channel and share with friends. Okay, let me say update or update readme, and then commit. Wow, this is the readme file. You see, try and Github for beginners. Please subscribe to this channel, and you could, it's marked down, so you format it line by line and every other thing. So I'll leave you with that. And there's publish and create. So here now is the file, PDF, document, link to a video tutorial you've watched and everything, you just add it to this readme file. The PDF and the document, Word document, and every other thing you've worked on your as a research on your project, upload it to this repository, and you keep things. You don't need to worry about virus or any other thing. GitHub has everything in place to keep your files intact for you. So here you see, try out GitHub for beginner. This is a readme file. This is the main description for the repository, so don't forget about that. Okay, please, before I hand this up, subscribe, like, comment, and check the description for my last video on introduction to source control. Please, if you have any comment, leave it, I'll respond. And if there's something you want me to do video on, or a topic you are interested in, please leave the comment. I'll try and schedule it. Thanks.